Hi Mom, hi world, hi Harley Davidson. So I'm preparing a long motorcycle trip from Florida to Alaska on a Pan America, Harley's brand new adventure bike. And before I get started, I want to give you some idea of the preparation going into it, what kind of kit we're going to bring. So my goal here is to show you a few of the items in each of my bags. And you know what? If you see anything here I should have, let me know in the comments of this video. So what we have here are my flip-flops, some trusty rainbows. We have a scarf. This is totally superfluous. I could get rid of it. I have two mechanics gloves, which will serve as riding gloves until I get better ones. Harley, you really ought to sponsor me here. I have in this bag a back brace, which I'll be wearing for most of the trip. This is basically just so I can ride for a little bit longer throughout the day. I've had surgery on my L3 and L4, so after a long time of riding, it starts to hurt a little bit. I had a pretty gnarly scenario in South Carolina where I had to pull off on the road, like 9 out of 10 on the pain scale. Went away after a while though. And inside of each of these bags, I've also got a card with my contact information just in case for some reason my bags are separated from me. Now that's bag number one, and that will also include some more camping gear and potentially some rations, so like food, water, other things I'll need when I'm in Alaska. On this side, we have first an emergency blanket, a bunch of hand warmers, some carabiners, and a compass. All things that are nice to have in the woods. The hand warmers are particularly nice when you're wearing motorcycle gloves, because then if you don't have hand warmers on your bike, you can throw on your little trusty hand warmers. Those will last for up to 8 hours. They've got me through some pretty gnarly snowstorms before. A lot of faith in them. And here we've got some toiletries. And here we have more toiletries. Also like an emergency inhalers and 5-hour energies. Some superhero shit like diclofenac. Actually, I got a prescription for diclofenac from a doctor. He insisted that's what they use if a football player or like another athlete is injured on the field. So you take that in conjunction with some ibuprofen. Hopefully, if I'm in a bad accident and I gotta drag myself back to civilization, I'll have that on standby. I've got in here just a simple pocket knife. This tool here is going to be for charging devices on the bike. Can't really see it all that well. I've got a chain breaker in here and a repair kit for the chain, so if I have to swap out a chain in the field. There's going to be some other parts I end up getting from the dealership when I get there. And additionally, I've got some Gorilla Glue, some electrical tape, and some duct tape, all of which are nice to have in the field. The tires on that bike are spoked wheels, so supposedly they're top of the line when it comes to off-roading. I am, however, a little concerned about puncturing a tire, so I'm going to speak with the people at Harley about how we're going to handle that in the kit, how we're going to handle that in the field, since I don't want to carry a spare tire. We have another large duffel bag. We have a sheepskin saddle, a sheepskin seat cover. Now this served me really well coming back from Maine to Colorado. Took me about 3,000 miles to realize how handy this would be. But hopefully I won't need it on the Pan America because those seats are very comfortable. But just in case I need the extra airflow, or if I need a little bit of extra comfort, or even just a little bit of extra height, this will serve for that. And also, nothing else I can lay down on it and make a decent pillow out of it. It's pretty comfy, even if it smells like ass sweat. This is a little air mattress. Now, I use this in conjunction with this hammock here, and this is my preferred way of camping. So, for the most part, I have 2 ratchet straps in here. I'll hook this up to a tree, and then I'll take this and put it on top of the hammock. This keeps you from getting cold ass in the middle of the night. It's definitely a more comfortable way of doing hammock camping. It took me a few thousand miles to figure that out too. I've also got some mosquito netting in here, something to wear over top of my head, an extra bag, because you never know, and some additional straps for tying other things to the bike. I'm going to have to buy a few more of these out in Florida. All of this, pretty essential kit for camping, pretty basic kit for camping. Now we have the interesting stuff. We have backup pair of glasses, my other pair of glasses. I should have another case for these around here actually. I don't have a visor in my helmets, like a black, like a sun visor for my helmet. So I'll be wearing glasses inside of it. My preferred way anyway. I don't really like the, screen visors. But I do have a spare kit of this in case for some reason I don't feel like wearing the helmet or the glasses. That might happen at night. This flask, I think, is actually going to stay behind here. We got some snacks in here, some emergency rations, you could say. All this stuff I'll dip into on the plane right there. We have a boatload of electronics, including 2 Crave power packs. These are kind of bulky. I'd say this is about, what do you think, 10 pounds maybe? Each of these are about 10 pounds. I got 2 of these. And they're going to last me for up to 7 to 12 days, in theory. Now, to express that a little bit further, I've got a GoPro inside of here. That'll be doing most of my helmet recording. I've also got an additional microphone, like a lavalier microphone to tuck up inside of the helmet. So we'll be getting some decent footage that way from on top of the bike. We have the charging kit for several batteries for the GoPro, and an additional battery charger. I've got 4 of these in total. This one's my smallest one. This is like the lightweight one I'll use and actually recharge. The Crave ones are kind of bulky. I prefer not to use them all the time. We have a little, kickstand support. So you put this on the ground, drop your kickstand on top of that. Even if you've got mud and gravel and other things underneath your bike that won't allow you to keep the bike upright with your kickstand, this will keep it from sinking into the ground. It's nice to have for anybody who rides. There's some condoms because the Scout motto is be prepared. And then we've got an additional strap, and that almost covers everything in the kit. Now when we actually get out to Florida, I'm looking to get an additional top case, an aluminum top case. We're going to put that on top of the bike, and then that's where we'll keep most of the either food rations and possibly the electronics. In front of that, we're going to end up having the gas canisters so that I can get the whole way through the Dalton Highway. That's about 500 miles without a gas station. So we'll be loading up there somewhere in Anchorage. I think just filling those up as much as possible for the rest of the ride. I'm missing a siphon as well. We're going to end up buying one of those out there. And beyond that, I think we have most of our essential kit here for the Pan America. But I'm always looking for new ideas on what we should have on the bike. I should probably mention the helmet as well. This is a Rye helmet. It's pretty top of the line. It's very comfortable. I've got some of my scouting stuff on this. In some circles, they call me Scout instead of Zach. So that's kind of my preferred joke with them. The helmet's pretty comfortable. My biggest issue with it so far on the KTM, and Rye, if you're listening to this for whatever reason, please take note that whenever this visor is open, first of all, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get this thing open. It's not that big of a deal, but still. However, when it's fully open and you have wind coming past the helmets, it creates a really bad whistling sound on the left and right sides. Drives me a little crazy after a while, but in theory, the Pan America has a lot better wind manipulation and I won't be blasted in the face as much by wind. So hopefully that's not going to be a big deal. Otherwise, I'd actually buy a different helmet. I'd buy a new helmet for this ride because I won't want to deal with the whistling for so many miles. And honestly, I like riding visor open. I like the airflow. Anyway, that just about covers all of our kit for this, and I'll see you in the next video.